Today I fucked up by forgetting my stroller was empty. Early this morning I decided to go for a walk with my son, 4 months, and my husband's Doberman. Since it was nice out and I figured I could pick up an iced coffee without having to pile into the car, it'd be nice. My 10-year-old daughter asks if she can come. I agree and she hurries to get changed and we're out the door. Baby strapped into his stroller, still asleep. We walk for about 25 minutes and I'm just chatting with my 10-year-old about various things. When we're going back to school shopping, if she can get a frozen hot chocolate from the coffee shop, if she can get a cookie, if the pool boy is back from vacation yet so she can swim before we shut up the pool for the season, yada yada. When finally the baby wakes up. He isn't crying or fussing, just starts kicking a little bit and his eyes are clearly open. Daughter asks if she can hold him for a little while. I tell her, sure, reminding her that if he squirms she has to put him back. We keep walking for another 10 minutes. We get to the top of a slight incline, and the dog decides to do his business in a patch of grass, and while I'm reaching around, balking at the smell and fumbling to get one of the poop bags out of the holder on the leash, I hear a weird sound and oh shit. The stroller is rolling away. My dumb ass didn't lock the wheels. Shit, my brain is going in 12 different directions. I'm hauling my fat ass down this slight hill, nearly stumbling and eating shit on the pavement twice as the dog embarrasses me by only doing a half trot while I'm sprinting in my mind. There's nobody around so I can't exactly shout, run away stroller, and get help from some stranger. I'm saved by the stroller hitting a pole when it gets to the corner at the bottom of the incline, stopping in its tracks. I get to the stroller, out of breath, red in the face. I managed to drop my phone halfway down the hill so now I have to double back and grab it and still pick up the dog shit. I pull the stroller towards me and turn it around, prepared to reach inside and comfort my baby and it hits me all at once. The baby is not in the stroller. I just chased after an empty stroller with the full panic of thinking my 4-month-old was about to roll into traffic. Suddenly I was happy there was nobody around because at least that means there was no one to record me. My only audience was 2 people I birthed and someone who barks at his own reflection. I turn around and my 10-year-old is laughing at me, walking at a steady pace, still holding the baby. I was gonna tell you, but I wanted to see how long before you remembered, she says. The look on her face reminded me so much of the times my husband would fuck with me back when we were in college. How a shenanigans face can be genetic, I have no idea. I sigh, still huffing and puffing, and tell her to put her brother back in the stroller. We double back to get my phone and pick up the poop. We trudge another 5 minutes to the coffee shop. I get my 30+ ounces of iced espresso, caramel syrup, mocha syrup, and milk. Daughter gets her glorified chocolate milk with whipped cream and a cookie. The dog gets a pup cup, everyone wins. Too long did not read. I didn't remember my daughter was holding my baby and proceeded to look like an idiot running after an empty stroller, almost tripping and falling on my face twice. I mean, it definitely could have been worse. I'm glad the baby's safe though. IDK, I'm not a parent, but even if I knew it was empty I could see myself running after it because 1. It could still cause an accident if it rolls into traffic, both because a driver might see it and swerve and crash avoiding it, or if they hit it it could cause damage both to their car and emotionally because they'd think they killed a baby, and 2. Aren't strollers stupid expensive? If your kid's got the reflexes to hold a baby while you sprint after an empty stroller. You know, maybe she's just inherited your sense of drama and chaos. Did she ever consider a career in stunt doubling? In all honesty I thought you were gonna forget the baby at home. I remember when my youngest was born, we pack up the 2 older ones in the car. I grab the diaper bag, assume my husband has our 3-month-old. We get in the front seat of the car and start to back out of the driveway and our then 6-year-old looks at us and goes, "You guys forgot the baby." He was happily sleeping in his rocker when I ran inside, feeling like an awful mother and so thankful for our oldest child's help. We were exhausted parents, it happens. Stress can do crazy things to our memory. I dropped my daughter off at my mom's last week after running a bunch of errands. It was a very quick drop off. I'm on the way home, look in my rear view, and see her empty seat. My heart sunk as I illegally U-turned and parked my car to remember where I was last. Oh yeah, my mom's house. It was genuinely an eye-opening moment for me that I need to chill the fuck out sometimes. Today I fucked up by using a steamer iron while I was wearing the cloth and burnt myself. I was in a hurry. I noticed some wrinkles on my shirt and thought it's a very smart idea to save time by directly putting the steamer iron on my cloth while I was wearing it. I pulled the bottom of the shirt away from my skin so that it won't touch my skin. For half a second, the thought crossed my mind. Maybe, it's not a good idea. If it goes wrong, imagine what a crazy news headline would be: young man killed himself accidentally by ironing his cloth while wearing it. But then I let that thought go, thinking that obviously it's not gonna burn my skin. However, the steamer's steam went straight through to my stomach. I felt like someone stabbed my stomach. I quickly put it away. Went into the shower and put cool water for 5 minutes, then a burn ointment. There are 2-inch radius spots and they hurt a lot. I'm in pain, but I'm also laughing at myself for my own stupidity. Too long did not read. Used a steam iron on my cloth while I was wearing that cloth and burnt myself. This is why we have so many warning labels on things. Lol. Using cloth instead of clothes is messing with me. Thank you for adding to my list of things for me to proactively tell my kids not to be dumb enough to do. Things that I would have never thought they needed to be told. You are cooked, quite literally. If your cat is cold, don't warm it up in the microwave. Here's your sign. Painful but definitely a lesson you won't forget. Today I fucked up by having a problem with self-harm back in the day and my scars are ruining my life. Years ago, I made choices that left scars across my thighs and wrist. At the time, I didn't think about future me. Now, I hate them every single day. In the summer, I either roast in long sleeves and pants or deal with stares when people notice. I want kids one day and I don't want them looking at me thinking self-harm is okay. It mentally drains me thinking my body is a permanent mark of being a bad example. I've even gone to job interviews fully covered, no matter how hot it is, just to avoid questions. But part of me worries that when I finally land a placement, the work uniform might be short sleeve or shorts and I'll get discriminated against, maybe even lose out on a job before I can prove myself. The weird thing is, in my personal life, friends and people I've dated have never judged me for them or looked at me differently. But strangers? Whole different story. And fixing them isn't an option right now. Laser and treatments are way out of my budget. The fuck up is that I never thought about how much this would impact my future, not just my comfort, but my career. If anyone has miracle fixes on a budget, future me would really appreciate it. Too long did not read. Didn't think about how my actions would affect future me. Now I have scars I can't afford to fix, worry about discrimination at work, and still roast in long sleeves at job interviews. The intersection between the people who would recognize your scars for what they are and the people who would judge or shame you for them is smaller than you think. Tattoos is one idea. They don't have to be heavy and black, they can be colored and beautiful to distract from your scars. You can try and get sheer compression arm sleeves for work, say you have a medical condition that requires it. I wouldn't worry about your kids seeing them. It's part of life and you can tell them about them in an empathetic, age-appropriate way. It may sadden them as they get older, but so long as you work on your healing, it doesn't have to be traumatic. Don't shame yourself for your scars. Would you want your future kids to think that way? I've got 23 slices on my bicep. I am not afraid to tell my story. When you have kids and they're old enough to ask, be honest and tell them you made mistakes but learn from them. I won't have kids, but I do admit it was a mistake. As for your scars on your wrists, wear the thick cuff bracelets. Or get them tattooed over. You screwed up, yes, but overcame it. Don't let them rule your life. Own them, make them you as you are because they helped make you. Based on the pick of your legs. 1. Barely visible to the observer. 2. Very few work uniforms would require that much of your legs to be exposed. 3. The only time I noticed scars on a person in a public setting, and proportionately there have probably been many times I simply did not notice, was a young man renewing my license at DMV who had marked forearms. And I silently thought, I'm glad you are doing well now. They're your battle scars, don't be ashamed of them. I have the opposite feelings with mine. They're slowly fading over the years and I want them to stay. They remind me I was strong enough to stop, and strong enough to stay alive. They aren't shameful, they're a chapter of your story that you've left behind, but it's a lasting reminder that you are strong enough. I'm a manager. I have an employee that has scars. When I noticed them I said nothing. I never judged her for them either. I don't think you'll have that much of an issue. Strangers might give you a look, but who cares what strangers think? They're in and out of your life pretty quick. Keep your head up.